Right now at 7, a no deal in Washington pushes the government shutdown into another week. The impact on hundreds of thousands of federal employees who are either furloughed or working without pay. Plus, Texas lawmakers are working to uncover the truth and ensure accountability after devastating flooding took the lives of many campers at Camp Mystic and other communities. The new safety measures that are being put in place. And take a look at this. Hawaii's Kiliu volcano is putting on another spectacular show. Look at all that lava. I'll tell you more about that later on.
And we're starting off the day with some clouds and some increased humidity. I'll show you what to expect later in the day coming up in your forecast. You're watching CBS 19 Plus Morning Y'all.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
7:02 this morning, another week, another Friday night under the lights. We have made it to week 8 of East Texas football. Crazy. That means district titles and playoff spots will begin to shape up soon. And there are so many good games that are happening tonight, including our game of the week at Gilmer taking on Van. Someone's dropping out of the top spot tonight. We'll take a closer look at that game and a few others coming up in just a few moments. Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez. Dana has the day off.
Now, meteorologist Joel Robinson, thanks so much for joining us on CBS 19 Plus.
Yeah, I stepped out for a little bit because I saw on our tower cam, it is really, really dark outside.
It is.
Stepped outside and it feels really, really humid, more than it did earlier this morning.
That's right. Yeah, we got that south breeze coming in. We're bringing in a little bit more warm air and moisture as well. And as a result, we got a little bit more humid conditions and, of course, cloud cover as well. Let's take a look outside for you this morning. And now this is going to actually set the stage up for maybe a couple showers for today, mainly for Saturday as a cold front comes in. But you can see in our CBS 19 studio cam, just a blanket of clouds right overhead. Temperatures now near 66 degrees and 64 degrees is that dew point. Look at that 2-degree difference between the dew point and the actual air temperature. So it is very humid out there. Southeast breeze holding on at about 7 miles per hour. Temperatures across the area in the 60s, some upper 50s across some of our eastern parts of the area. We're near 70 degrees in Jacksonville and Palestine, and as well as Crockett. We're at 65 degrees there and 65 degrees this morning in Nacogdoches. Now, as we wear on through the rest of this morning, temperatures will climb into the low to mid 80s. We'll have some clouds start to develop out of the heat of the day. Additional clouds, I should say, for this afternoon. 88 degrees for the high. Couple showers, certainly a possibility. Again, better chance of rain is going to arrive on Saturday ahead of a cold front with some strong to severe thunderstorms possible. I'll show you what that looks like in your full 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. 7:04 now. Today marks the 17th day of the government shutdown with no end or compromise in sight. Lawmakers say more layoffs are imminent and neither side appears to be willing to budge. Naomi Reckham tells us what's next in the push to end the shutdown and how it's impacting everyday Americans.
After another failed vote on Thursday, the Senate has adjourned for the weekend, pushing the government shutdown into yet another week.
I trust no Republican's word as long as Donald Trump is saying that he refuses to extend the health care tax subsidies.
It would take just a handful of Democrats to reopen the government.
In the midst of a blame game in Washington, Americans who are employed by the federal government are feeling the impact of lost paychecks. In Salt Lake City, the city and airport officials have teamed up to open a food pantry to support federal employees from several agencies who still have to show up for work without pay. The service offers free food, toiletries, home goods, gas, and gift cards.
People got to pay the rent. They got to pay their car insurance and everything else that goes with it.
At Beale Air Force Base outside Sacramento, a local nonprofit is asking local grocery stores to offer discounts to civilians and military members who are not getting paid or are uncertain about future paychecks.
Hopefully that will just alleviate the uncertainty and help them be able to sleep a little bit better at night and still, be ready for work.
For now, law enforcement officers from the Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol agents have been promised pay during the shutdown. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
And the chamber is expected to reconvene on Monday again for another vote. We're also learning a major food assistance program that helps more than 40 million Americans could run out of money next month if the shutdown continues. The USDA says SNAP, better known as food stamps, is only guaranteed through October. After that, states have been told not to process new files that load benefits onto debit cards. That could jeopardize more than 3.4 million Texans who rely on SNAP to put food on the table. Experts warn if Congress doesn't reach a budget deal, November benefits may not arrive on time. And a new poll by the Associated Press shows who Americans blame for the federal shutdown. Roughly 6 in 10 Americans say Trump and Republicans in Congress are responsible. About 7 in 10 Americans believe each group, Republicans and Democrats, deserve at least a moderate share of the blame. And dozens of reporters turned in access badges and left the Pentagon after refusing to comply with government-imposed restrictions on their work. Now, the new rules by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth would leave journalists vulnerable to expulsion if they sought to report on information, classified or otherwise, that had not been approved by Hegseth. Earlier this week, President Trump said he supported the new rule and called the press, quote, very disruptive in the terms of world peace. Closer to home now, Texas lawmakers are working to uncover the truth and ensure accountability after devastating flooding affected Camp Mystic and other communities. New safety measures are being put in place ahead of the next camping season to prevent similar tragedies. After passing House Bill 1 and Senate Bill 1, the legislature appointed a joint committee from the Texas Senate and House to investigate the timeline and cause of the flooding, hearing testimony as well, and developing plans to protect campers moving forward. Now, while county officials and emergency responders have spoken, camp owners have yet to fully share their perspective.
We want to find out the truth. We want to find out what happened and how we can learn from that. And we heard testimony from lots of folks, lots of stakeholders, county officials, River Authority folks, emergency management folks, but we did not hear from the camp owners themselves.
Well, moving forward, of course, the committee anticipates calling anyone who can provide a full picture of the events, aiming for transparency and safety. The new emergency evacuation plans, that is, and licensing rules are being implemented by the Texas Department of Health and Human Services with the goal of having these protections in place before next summer.
Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Come out.
Check that out, incredible video this morning. A Mesquite police officer's dash cam and body camera captured a dramatic rescue on the highway. This is just outside of Dallas. Sparks fly as the car bursts into flames, and without hesitation, that officer runs straight towards it. He fights to get the driver out, even pulling at the window before prying the door open just seconds before that fire spreads. Once she's safe, the officer and the colleague give first aid and even applying a tourniquet until paramedics arrive. The department calls it an act of bravery and commitment they see every single day. 7:09 now. Time now for your morning headlines. John Bolton is the latest outspoken critic of President Trump to face criminal charges. The former Trump administrator for National Security Advisor is indicted on 18 counts of retaining and transmitting national defense information. Bolton accused the Justice Department of hitting him with charges that were declined before and denies any wrongdoing. President Trump will meet with Ukrainian leader Zelensky at the White House today. Zelensky wants the U.S. to supply long-range Tomahawk missiles for strikes deep into Russia, an idea the president says he's considering but is not committed to. Trump also plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Hungary in a week or two. Ace Frehley, the original lead guitarist and founder member of Kiss, has died. Frehley's agent says the glam rocker died peacefully surrounded by family following a recent fall. He was 74 years old. And take a look at this. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is putting on another spectacular show, shooting lava more than 1,300 feet into the air. That's higher than the Empire State Building. This morning's eruption was the volcano's 35th episode since December. Scientists believe they are all part of the same eruption because magma has been following the same pathway to the surface. All right, 7:11 now. Time to get to our question of the day. Of course, it is National Pasta Day, and we're celebrating the only way we know how is by asking our question, what's your favorite pasta dish?
Oh, man, you're speaking my language.
Are we?
Oh, man. I love spaghetti and meatballs. I love chicken Alfredo. Oh, man.
So you love Olive Garden?
I really do. I like Olive Garden, and oddly enough, I mentioned this before a while ago, but the chicken and broccoli Alfredo from Applebee's is so good.
I'll have to try it.
It's so good.
I'm not going to hate on it until I try it.
It's pretty good. I got my fiance to like it as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like a good homemade. I was on my little pasta era, if you want to call it that, last month. I made this really good pasta where, I just threw tomatoes, like those baby tomatoes, some feta cheese, cream cheese, spinach, put your seasonings in there, put it in the oven. That's your sauce.
Sure.
Boil your pasta elsewhere. Put it all together. Put some chicken, put some shrimp, put whatever you want on it.
Really starting from scratch.
Right,
there.
from scratch.
Okay.
I've made pasta from scratch before too. It is very tedious.
Oh, I'll bet.
It's a fun weekend activity, but if you want to do it every night, I don't recommend it.
Right, that's going to take some time.
And I didn't have a roller either, or like one of those like pressers, and so I was like with the little roller just
you were
back and forth the entire time. It was a good arm
you
workout.
You definitely, well, maybe you do want to do it every night then.
Right, it'll give you a good arm workout.
Right.
Hey, we have this question up on our Facebook page as well, so you can let us know what your favorite pasta dish is. In the meantime, let's pasta onto this traffic. I tried to do something.
I tried
to do something with that.
On over
pasta
to the
on over.
That was a good one. I'll give you credit for that one. Let's take a look at our I-20 report this morning. We are still nice and clear this morning. We are 2 hours over to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport, so things looking pretty good as far as I-20. Also, same thing goes for US 69, 2.5 hours over to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes over to Lufkin, so should be in pretty good shape there. Other routes to consider, Jacksonville to Nacogdoches up to 55 minutes. Tyler to Longview is a 40-minute commute this morning. And we got Tyler to Palestine, that's up to 55 minutes. Tyler to Athens right now, a 45-minute commute. All pretty clear on our CBS19 live radar. I could imagine probably a couple of showers will be a possibility into this afternoon, especially with the increase of that humidity. We are now down to 2 3/4 mile visibilities down in Lufkin, so some areas of fog are beginning to develop. We're down to 5 miles of visibility as well in Carthage, so I would definitely give you a yellow light as far as some deep East Texas counties, but rest of the area looking pretty good, giving you green ×3. Temperatures starting out very warm in the upper 60s, upper 80s for this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies and perhaps a couple showers.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. 7:14 now. A Texas mother found a way to turn a big part of her culture into heritage and healing at it, of course. She went from birthday parties to a big business. Rebecca Lopez shows us why her piñatas are more than just a craft.
This is my mom.
Aww. For most of her life, Sarai Robertson has faced challenges, some small, some life-changing. Her story begins in Mexico, where she was born, when her father, a native Texan, was working for an American company. When she was 10, her family packed up and moved back to Texas. Her dad bought a Dairy Queen in San Antonio, and that's where the family worked.
We were little, so we would just pick up trash in the parking lot, empty out the trash cans. Totally different life than what we had in Mexico, completely different.
She learned early on to work hard, survive, and how to start over, lessons she would need years later when life tested her again.
I was diagnosed when I was 37. They were like, hey, you have breast cancer. It has spread to your lymph nodes and your armpit, so we need to get you to a surgeon, an oncologist, everything.
She fought the breast cancer and won, but not long after came another heartbreak.
And out of nowhere, my husband just says, hey, I want a divorce. No explanation, no reason, nothing.
A single mom, 2 little boys, she was determined to create a new normal.
So I thought, what can I do that I can do it while they're at school and while they're asleep so that I can be here for them?
So she turned to something familiar, her humor and her heritage.
I do Xanax and margaritas. Like, I am dying, lady.
But her counselor encouraged her to do something with her hands.
Do you do anything crafty? I said, well, I always make piñatas for my kids' birthdays. And she said, make me a fox for our next session.
She did, and when a friend saw it, paid her $50 for it. 1 piñata turned into 2, then 10, and more. Word spread, and so did joy. Her life took a full circle.
Ever since we were little, I mean, you don't say, what's your birthday theme gonna be? You always say, what piñata are you gonna want? And then you pick your piñata, you buy it, and the whole party revolves around that.
After years of struggle, she was finally finding her happiness again, 1 piñata at a time. The day after she signed her divorce papers, her friends signed her up for a farmer's market.
We showed up with piñatas. I sold out. And that's when I was like, okay, it's not just people doing it because they feel sorry for me. It's real.
The business she never planned became her calling, each piñata crafted from cardboard and crepe paper.
And the fact that we can do it with crepe paper and cardboard and tissue paper, and it brings so much joy to someone, it's all the better. I love it.
Wow. From pain to piñatas, Sarai Robertson says she discovered the true meaning of life.
I'm fulfilled in my life, and cancer and divorce made me realize what matters and what's important. And it's just the people who love you and how you give back to them.
I'm Rebecca Lopez.
I love that. All right, still ahead this morning. Keeping your kids away from the screens could mean more creativity ahead in the morning, y'all. And on CBS 19 Plus, the surprising benefits that could help them in the long run. And in sports, change isn't always easy, but for White House's Zion Alexander, it's made all the difference. See how his big moves are paying off as he dominates on the field. Meet our player of the week coming up in sports.
The CBS19 Sports Report, sponsored by Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Louisiana.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Let's get right out to White House for our player of the week, Zion Alexander, who's spearheading the Wildcats' late season playoff push.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
Not everybody likes change. But for White House's Zion Alexander, it's done nothing but help him out. You see, he started his career at Tyler Legacy, and it just wasn't working out for him, so he came to White House, where he's been one of their better athletes, and then change struck again when they started playing this running back at receiver.
He's an explosive player, and we wanted to try to get him the football a little bit and get him in space and see what he could go do. We knew he could do that stuff.
And that switch led to over 100 receiving yards and just under 100 yards on the ground to go alongside 3 touchdowns and the first White House district win of the season over Jacksonville. Alexander even got mixed in on defense too. So if you ask Zion what position he plays,
well, I don't go out as a receiver, running back. I'm just a football player. Put me everywhere and I can make a play. You put me on lineman, I can block. I'll make a play.
Because in this kid's senior year, it's all about picking up an offer. But don't let the Texas gloves confuse you on where Alexander wants to spend his next 4 years.
Like my dream school, where I think I can, play at, where I know I can play and it fit for my playing style is SMU. So they got a lot of fast guys. They got guys coming from East Texas like Darren McFall. When I was young, I looked up to him because he's a very speed guy and very versatile. So I kind of matched that to my game as well.
And he's shown everyone he can be versatile too, anywhere on the field. So Zion can keep expecting his positions to change, but with the production he's been able to put up with it, I'm sure he doesn't mind at all.
All right, let's talk game of the week. We spotlighted Gilmer earlier in the week, so now let's talk Van. They enter week 8 with a 4-2 record, but what really matters, both the Vandals and Buckeyes are undefeated in district play. This is a young team after losing a stacked senior class last season. They've got a new quarterback in Raleigh Hinch leading the offense, a dual threat who can make plays with his feet and his arm. The Vans got 3 returning starters on the offensive line in the trenches where this matchup could be decided, especially if they want to open up lanes for one of their key playmakers, running back DeQuavion Williams.
So the offensive line has done a great job and, gotten better every single week. And they're going to have to play well against Gilmer. One of Gilmer's strengths is their defensive line. And they do a great job up front. And they got some big guys. And, it's not easy running the football on those guys. And it never has been. And it'll be difficult Friday night. You'll be fighting for yards. Every time you run the football, you'll be fighting for yards against those guys.
This one's expected to have a playoff-like atmosphere. No surprise when 2 East Texas powerhouses meet this deep into the season. Kickoff for our game of the week, Gilmer at Van, is tonight at 7. Rockets wrapping up their preseason slate last night. Check out Josh Okogie with the block on the Trae Young 3 and then finishing the play at the rim on the other end. Later on, another block from Houston leads to another score from Okogie. This time, the Georgia Tech alum is going to slam it home through traffic. In the second quarter, Reed Shepard's long-range 3 is true. Then the kid makes a defensive play of his own, getting the steal and throwing it down in transition. He'd finish with a game-high 29 points, picks up the assist here for another Josh Okogie dunk as the Rockets win 133-115 to go 4-0 in preseason play. In MLB postseason action, after a Shohei Ohtani triple, Mookie Betts shoots the right center field gap to bring him home and put the Dodgers up 1-0 over the Brewers in the first inning. Fast forward to the 6th inning, Tommy Edman lines an RBI base hit into center. Will Smith comes all the way around to score to put LA up once again. It's 2-1 now. Dodgers would go up 3-1, and Roki Sasaki was on the bump to close things out in the 9th. But check out this incredible jump throw play from Betts at shortstop. Made famous, of course, by a certain 5-time champion, number 2 out in the Bronx. Dodgers win this one 3-1. And out in Seattle, Blue Jays looking to tie the ALCS at 2 wins apiece against the Mariners as Andres Jimenez homers for the 2nd night in a row to put Toronto up 2-1. In the 7th, it's 5-2. Then Vlad Guerrero Jr. lifts a solo homer into the seats in right. Blue Jays just pouring it on here after the bats looked lifeless in the first 2 games of the series. Later on, Jimenez adds on a little more. 4 ribbies on the night for the second baseman as Toronto wins 8-2, and the ALCS is indeed all tied up at 2 games apiece. But that's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. Hey, we're about to step away for a quick moment while we do our over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update. We'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us for this news update. The SPCA of Texas now has ownership of 16 small dogs who were rescued from filthy, inhumane conditions at a property in Van Zandt County. Now, these dogs are mostly Yorkies, Chihuahuas, and Dachshunds. They were found last week on a rural property with contaminated water and live maggots under their kennels, and 2 of the dogs were pregnant. Now, the SPCA care many of them are recovering from parasites, dental disease, and flea infestations. The SPCA says criminal charges against the owner are being pursued. You know, we're learning more information about a deadly head-on crash in Smith County. A Tyler man is now accused of driving a stolen truck while he was drunk on his birthday, causing that crash. Arrest documents show 31-year-old Jeremiah Munoz is charged with intoxication, manslaughter, and multiple drug offenses. Troopers say the crash happened on Wednesday on FM 2015 near Winona. 35-year-old Brandy Carter of Tyler died in that crash. Investigators also say Munoz assaulted an owner of a truck he stole at a gas station, then crashed that truck head-on into Carter's vehicle. He told troopers he had a couple of beers for his birthday. Later, officers found marijuana, THC vape pens, and ecstasy pills in his personal vehicle. Munoz is now in jail facing multiple felony charges. And sad news out of Anderson County this morning. Former Sheriff Kenneth Ray Buchanan has passed away. He served as sheriff from August of 2003 to December of 2004 and dedicated many years to law enforcement in East Texas, including time with DPS and the TDCJ. The sheriff's office says details on services will be shared with family at a later time. Early voting for the November election starts on Monday. Statewide, Texans will vote on 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution. Some include Proposition 3, denying bail for those charged with certain criminal felonies. Prop 4 would set aside $20 billion for over the next 2 decades to fund water infrastructure projects. Props 11 and 13 would raise the homestead exemption on property taxes. And Prop 16 says non-U.S. citizens cannot vote in the state elections, including local elections as well. Well, let's get a check on that forecast with Joel now. It is Friday. Lots of things happening this weekend.
That's right. And we are definitely a little bit more humid today. And for Under the Lights tonight, we are going to be starting out in the low 80s and upper 70s. And we'll all be making our way back down into the 70s as we continue into the rest of the night. Clear skies overhead, perhaps a couple of showers beforehand, but most everybody will stay dry. The better chance for rain will come into the forecast for tomorrow. Strong to severe thunderstorms are going to be a possibility across Tyler, Jacksonville, Nacogdoches Center. All areas within this yellow shaded area do have that potential for some damaging winds and some large hail and potentially a couple of spin-ups. But the main thing that we're going to be watching for is wind damage between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. That's the tentative time that we're looking for. So make sure you have that CBS19 app downloaded so you can receive the latest notifications weather-wise. Now, after that cold front, which is going to be driving these rain chances, comes through, we could potentially see highs on Sunday in the upper 70s.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Hallmark movies and Thanksgiving meals. Our minds are always on the holidays, right? In this morning's trending segment, we'll give you a preview of what to expect as the holiday season creeps closer and closer. Plus, too much screen time and not enough boredom. Coming up, why experts say giving your kids a mental break could spark big creativity.
And in your forecast, we're going to be breaking down the severe weather chances going into this weekend. Currently, the Storm Prediction Center has parts of East Texas under a 1 and 2 out of 5 risk. I'll show you what that means in your full forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. Well, Texans are bracing for protests this weekend as the second No Kings rally of the year is set to happen this weekend. It's part of a nationwide movement opposing the Trump administration. Some of those protests will be happening here in East Texas. However, one of the largest demonstrations in the state is expected in Austin, where protesters plan to march from the Texas Capitol to the Auditorium shores. Governor Abbott says Texas DPS and the National Guard troops will be deployed to the city ahead of that rally, which he claims is linked to Antifa, an organization the White House has labeled as a terrorist group. Now, this event is just one of about 2,500 No Kings rallies planned all over the country on Saturday. But while the largest turnouts are expected in major cities, similar rallies are planned across East Texas, like Tyler, Jacksonville, Mineola, and Lufkin, just to name a few. Officials are encouraging people to stay alert, know where demonstrations are planned, and be aware of traffic disruptions or safety concerns in those areas. Well, Election Day, or early voting, that is, starts on Monday, and there's quite a few propositions on the ballot. One of them is Proposition 4. Leaders from across the state met this week to talk about the challenges Texas is facing with its water infrastructure. Leaders say Texas is facing a water supply crisis because of rapid population growth, leaking old infrastructure, and drought. Lawmakers say if voters approve Proposition 4, half of that money will go towards new water supply systems, and the other half will enhance existing programs. The money would come from sales tax already collected by the state, and there is a plan in place if sales tax starts to decline.
So, to the best of our abilities, without the ability to predict exactly where the economy is every 2 years, we have accommodated that if there is a reduction in funding, that reduction is expected to be made up.
Election, by the way, is November 4th. Well, none of us love being bored, right? But what we're seeing are these kiddos that are in the state of constant overstimulation and constant input, and there's a lot less tolerance for that discomfort. Mark Istook explains the surprising benefits when your kids ditch the screens and have to entertain themselves.
No doubt today's digital parents have heard it before. I'm bored, what do I do? It seems all of today's nonstop screen time may have actually rewired your kid's brain to find boredom more boring than ever. But it turns out boredom has some big brain benefits.
What we know of boredom neurologically is that it is not a passive state. And so when we allow ourselves to sit in that space of boredom, it can open up opportunities for creativity, for new ideas to come, for innovation to come. It also allows for problem solving.
Dr. Laura Vogel from the Momentous Institute says kids need that time away from screens and constant stimulation. It allows their young brains to build skills essential for childhood development. And parents should remember, it's not their responsibility to entertain their kids. It's okay to simply let them be bored.
Even beginning to say things like, you know what, a little bit of boredom is good for your brain. I can't wait to see what you do with this.
Also important, are mom and dad modeling good, boring behavior? Are you picking up the phone every time you stand in line, allowing devices at the dinner table, leaving the TV on all day? Instead, she recommends seeking out family opportunities where there's not any outside stimulation.
Telling your kids, my brain needs a break right now. We're going to do a quiet car ride. No radio, no phones, and we're going to drive. Maybe we have a conversation, maybe we don't. That's okay.
Maybe a wholesale digital detox is a big leap for you and your family, but making space for boredom can show your kids and their brains that a little bit of nothing can lead to a whole lot of something.
This is where a lot of the world's most innovative ideas have come from, is quiet, reflective time. That our brains need that to be creative.
Quiet time is good time, y'all. Come on. All right, well, this Sunday night, the journey begins for 12 emerging musicians who will take the stage as opening acts for superstar Keith Urban on the new music show competition series called The Road. Among them, an East Texan, Billie Joe Jones from Grand Saline, who's hoping to take her talent all the way. We have your behind-the-scenes look at this thrilling 10-week ride through all the highs and lows of touring, where one artist, hopefully Billie Joe, will ultimately claim the grand prize. Check it out.
These 12 up-and-coming musicians are hitting the road for a 10-week ride with country music star Keith Urban. Each performer gets the chance to open for the hugely successful Grammy-winning musician at 7 different venues across the U.S. Each night, contestants play for a live audience, earning their votes to stay on tour or be sent home.
Thank you so much.
It's all a part of the new CBS series, The Road.
I don't know if that's going to get it, Jimmy.
Which tapped Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan and another country icon as executive producers. That's right, Blake Shelton.
I came up playing in the bars, and so I relate to the way these artists are trying to get there. Because it's the way I did it.
Shelton told us he helped handpick the 12 contestants and the venues for their performances, and how it was a struggle at times to stay behind the scenes.
I'm on several episodes.
Couldn't stay away from being in front of the camera.
I was getting jealous. I saw Keith on camera. I was like, he looks so good. I got to get some of that. So I felt like it was important for me to at least get in there, but we're just spectators. It's about those contestants, and we just have thoughts and things that we think the audience may want to hear.
We got a taste of Blake's and Keith's on-camera chemistry during our interview.
Are we close enough? Or?
Which was the day they were filming their season finale.
It's okay, buddy. We're almost to the finale. It's almost over.
It's so sad.
It's almost over. We're almost there.
What made you say yes when he called you?
He had incriminating photos.
It's blackmail.
So, I mean, for me, it was like, it's such a great concept. There was something really interesting about watching these performers figure out how to come out and grab an audience. And the good thing about this show, too, is you get to do an original song.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing and a challenge, because you can play Freebird and get them like that, right? But then you got to do one of your songs and try and get them to love you just as much. So it's very cool watching that happen.
We also met up with fellow country star Gretchen Wilson, who acts as tour manager and mentor for the contestants.
It's pretty much like this everywhere you go.
She gave us a backstage pass to the contestants' home away from home.
After you watch your
Thank you
step.
so much. Hospitality. Thank you so much.
Contestants have been traveling on this one. When we started, there were 12 musicians up here, so it wasn't as spacious as you think. So this is your only real sanctuary. It's your home. Getting close to each one of these musicians, hearing them speak to their families and over the phone, missing their loved ones, all things that I've been through.
And then there's that interim where you're traveling, and it's the grind, they say, and it's not easy. There's a lot of financial sacrifices you have to make, sacrifices time away from your family.
That's why this show is so unique, and that's because you get to see the real nitty-gritty.
With cameras rolling at all times,
Miss you guys. I'll try not to cry like a baby.
viewers will get to buckle up and hop on for the wild ride.
Let's get this party started.
That is life on the road.
It's going to be a great time, and if you like to cheer on Billie Joe with her friends and fans, there's a watch party happening this Sunday at the Texas Music City Grill Smokehouse in Lindale. You can expect great food, cold drinks, and plenty of hometown pride as East Texas rallies behind Billie Joe's big debut. Wishing her the best of luck.
Yes, for sure.
All righty, 7:41 now. Aldi is serving up savings this Thanksgiving, offering its lowest per person price yet. The grocery chain is cutting $7 from last year's cost for a full holiday menu that feeds up to 10 people. Now, the 21 item spread includes a 14-pound turkey. Jewel has your classic sides like mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, stuffing, and yes, even dessert pumpkin pie, all available through the holiday season. So,
what is your favorite side?
Ooh, hands down. I'm blanking. Oh my gosh.
I like stuffing.
Stuffing, that's what it was.
Yeah, I
was
love
blanking.
stuffing, and I also love stuffing myself with all the good food.
That is good.
There you go.
I will eat stuffing just by itself. I would give me a second helping. It's so good.
Yeah, no,
now,
I would.
Are you a white gravy or a brown gravy kind of guy?
I'm a brown gravy. Are you a white gravy?
We are gravy.
That is okay. We may match, but we
we
can't
have different
agree on
gravies.
gravy.
We can share our stuffing with different gravies for sure.
There you go.
Do you like the turkey leg or like the breast of the turkey whenever you eat it?
Oh man, I really like both of them.
They're both good.
They're both good, but yeah, I would say the breast has a little bit more
juice to it.
A little bit more juice, a little bit more meat. I'd probably go with that.
I'm a sucker for the skin. That
Really?
has all
Yeah.
the good juices there, and if it's a little extra burnt and crisp, it's really, really good.
Oh,
You have
man.
to try it.
Can't wait.
It's almost there, a little
Yeah.
over a month away.
That's
All right.
right.
Well, Halloween is a little bit closer, it's 2 weeks away, but the focus is, come on, already on Christmas. Get ready for Hallmark's Countdown to Christmas. It actually kicks off tonight. The network's holiday tradition returns with brand new original movies and all the feel-good moments fans wait for all year long. Now, this year's countdown starts with the premiere of a brand new holiday series, also appropriate for the spooky season, called The Mistletoe Murders, with the series finale airing on, appropriately, Halloween. The entire schedule through December is available, so you can see it on the Hallmark Channel's website.
Wow, it's that time of year already.
October 18th, and we're counting down the days already.
That is crazy. Yeah, I was walking through Walmart. I could already see the inflatables everywhere,
Home
the
Depot.
Christmas lights.
2 weeks ago. Home
Depot.
Depot had them
Yes.
2 weeks ago. Hobby Lobby had their Christmas stuff up like a month or two ago. So they're like pretty quick with their decorations.
Oh, for sure. I love even just walking around the store.
Right.
It's a good vibe. Like Christmas music, they're playing Christmas music, and you just got all the decorations. And
if they're not, just pop an earbud in and listen to your own Christmas music and walk
immerse
around.
yourself in the moment.
You know what's funny? In our apartment, the building right in front of me, there's someone who already has their Christmas tree up. I don't know who it is. And they're on the first floor. I know where you live. I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. They already have their Christmas tree up, which is amazing.
Wow.
Not saying it's a bad thing, but
we're
already in the Christmas
I saw
spirit.
Halloween. I was in Colorado last week, and I saw a Halloween tree. It was like orange.
You gotta have a tree year round.
I guess so.
All right, this next story is a little interesting, if you want to call it that. Charmin is going big with its latest release. The brand is rolling out what they're calling a forever roll.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It is 1,700 sheet roll of toilet paper that is meant to last up to a month based on a two-person household. The roll is about 32 times larger than a standard one. The, quote, forever roll is available online and, of course, in stores, including Walmart, Target, and Amazon. Now get this, the company is even offering a 30-day money-back guarantee if it doesn't last you that long.
Wow.
So who's going to return used toilet paper? That's my question.
No, that looks like a car tire, man. I tell you what.
How does that even fit into the dispenser?
I don't know. That is insane.
You're going to have it like on your counter or like the back of the toilet seat?
Right, yeah. Where are we going to put that? That's the... I mean, there was an example image
right.
of it. It was like this tall,
That's
tall
what
thing.
it is, yeah.
There it is, yeah, that's it.
You have to have a freestanding roll holder at this point for it. I think the other image was like compared to what it was originally. That looks like industrial size, like napkins or something.
There you go. Yeah, see, it comes with a stand.
Oh, it comes with a stand.
It comes with a stand.
You have to buy the stand though. That's the thing. See, that's how it is compared to a normal roll.
Man. That is a roll of toilet paper.
Out of all the things we've chatted about, we're chatting about toilet paper this morning.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
toilet
Friday.
paper for the win.
All right, well, we might need our umbrellas this morning or this afternoon, this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of the above.
All of the above. I would say more so on Saturday.
Yeah.
Can't rule out maybe a couple showers for today.
Just
only
in
about a
case.
20% chance.
Don't put your toilet paper outside.
Yeah, don't get that toilet paper wet for sure. We're taking a live look outside at our CBS19 studio cam. Clouds are starting to clear up just a little bit. We have a little bit of these flat level clouds here right now, and just gorgeous as you step outside. A little bit warmer than what we've been seeing just because of that higher humidity. We're up to 68 degrees now in Tyler, partly cloudy skies. You can see that off into the distance. And our dew point's elevated a little bit because of a south-southeasterly wind of around 9 miles per hour. That's putting it up to about 65 degrees. That's a little bit on the humid side, that's for sure. That's going to fuel some rain chances in for a little bit for today and more so tomorrow. Temperatures across the area, upper 50s to the east, upper 60s to the west. very comfortable across the board. Maybe a little bit on the humid side, but still pretty comfortable across some parts of the area. We'll see the low 80s by the early afternoon, high 80s by the late afternoon, partly cloudy skies. A couple of showers again possible. It's only about a 20% chance. Not really going to see a whole lot of a widespread rain event for today. The better chance for rain will be on Saturday. You can see that weather impact alert right for Saturday. We do have a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms ahead of a cold front. And once that cold front moves through, we could potentially see highs in the upper 70s by Sunday. I'll show you what the rest of that 7-day forecast looks like. Plus, we'll time out the severe weather coming up in your forecast.
All right, thanks, Joel. You might need your toilet paper for this next story. We're talking about coffee. Yeah, coffee. Your morning coffee costs more, but it's not just inflation. Coming up, the surprising reasons behind that price hike. $7:48 now this morning. Welcome back. If you've noticed your morning coffee costing you just a little bit more these days, you're not alone. In recent months, actually, retail coffee prices in the U.S. have jumped increasingly by more than 20% in August compared to last year. Michael Yoshida joins us and explains on how you can get a better sticker shock before enjoying that sip of Joe.
Nearly all of the coffee consumed in the United States is imported, and while Trump administration tariffs are to blame in part for the recent rising costs, that's not the whole story. For many, coffee across the United States is getting more expensive.
We will have to do a price increase, there's no doubt about it.
Robert Peck, CEO and co-founder of Commonwealth Joe Coffee Roasters, says it's been a challenging year in the coffee industry, with costs rising and margins down.
Some people, we've already seen a shift. They're now buying beans and they're brewing coffee at home because that brings down their daily expense.
99% of all coffee consumed in the U.S. is imported, according to the National Coffee Association. And with many coffee bean growing countries slammed with tariffs by the Trump administration, including Brazil, the U.S.'s top supplier, which faces an import tax of 50%, big brands and small shops have been trying to absorb costs.
Because costs are high now. For the first time ever, we're thinking about, okay, well maybe let's just not print the gold on the inside because that could save us another couple of cents a bag. We're trying to get creative without changing the quality of the product inside, which is what consumers care about the most.
But it's not just tariffs causing trouble. Shipping costs are also rising, while bad weather and droughts in places like Brazil and Vietnam are impacting harvests and production. And when supply goes down, prices go up.
We may have to think about switching, from Brazil to a Honduran coffee or a Colombian coffee or a Mexican coffee. At the end of the day, if you're not running a profitable business, you're not going to be in business for very long.
And Peck told me he does believe in a nuanced approach to tariffs, but believes that tariffs on coffee should be eliminated for the simple fact that you can't produce coffee at the levels needed here in the U.S. to meet consumer demand. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
All right, 7:50 this morning. It is Friday. You know what that means. That's the sound of high school football in East Texas, if you will. We can already feel the excitement. I know every week we say we have some good games, but this week, trust me, we have some really good games to talk about, and they could determine some playoff seeds as well. Let's get to it. Our game of the week takes us to Van in Van Zandt County. The Division II world of 4A, the Gilmer Buckeyes are all wrapped up in first place in their district. They're not the only ones, though. Van and Pleasant Grove first as well in district. Someone's dropping out of that first spot tonight. As for our Under the Lights kickoff show, we're heading to the best game in all of the Lone Star State. Two teams looking to prove that they are worthy of state championship conversations, and a win tonight could put them front and center. Of course, we're talking Kilgore versus Lindale, a game of two absolute powerhouses who hail from the same district. This one will likely determine who will be the champion of that District of Doom, and we'll be on site for that one. And another one to watch out for, Tatum versus Gladewater. This one last year was a huge game. Tatum winning last minute with a touchdown. This year, Gladewater is looking a lot different and has built its way into being one of the top dogs in 3A football. Now, the Bears have a reputation to keep up and a little revenge over the Eagles, who were due just that. A busy night, Joel.
That is for sure, and good news, the weather should be just fine for today. Any sort of rain that happens today will happen before under the lights, and it's already a really low-end chance. We are going into tonight at 7:30, starting off in the low 80s, upper 70s, middle 70s by the middle of the game, and the end of the game should be pretty nice. The only thing you're going to have to kind of watch for is maybe a little bit of a sticky air mass outside. It's already starting to kind of come about from the south, starting to feel a little bit more humid. But that's about it. Now, let's talk severe weather. This is going into tomorrow. We have a slight risk. That's what we call it from the Storm Prediction Center, or scattered risk, a level 2 out of 5 risk across much of East Texas. It has been expanded since yesterday to include areas like Tyler, Canton, Athens, Jacksonville, as far south as Nacogdoches and Center. This is a scattered risk. So we're talking maybe 3 or 4 severe thunderstorm warnings are going to be possible. And the number one thing that we're watching for, and it's already kind of a low end threat here, so it's not expected to be too widespread, but it's damaging winds. That is going to be number one here. Next thing we're going to be watching for, and it's even lower than that, is a hail threat. Basically, Tyler to the northwest. That's going to be our best shot for hail, but mainly in that area where it is yellow off to the northwest. Tornado potential also very low. Now with the storm mode, or how the storms are going to be basically developing, it's going to be very isolated, so there's a better chance for maybe some of these storms to rotate, but it's already a very low end chance. The better ingredients for any tornado activity is going to be off to the northeast. You can see that brown area off to the northeast over Arkansas. That's going to be the best shot for tornadoes, although we can't rule it out completely. Time frame, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for tomorrow. Again, the main thing that we're going to be watching for is wind damage. Make sure to have your devices charged and download that CBS19 app on your phone. Now, after that cold front, which is going to be triggering those showers and thunderstorms, passes, we could expect highs in the upper 70s for Sunday. Middle 80s return by Monday. Another cold front comes through on Tuesday and Wednesday. We could have highs near 80 degrees by Wednesday.
All right, Joel, these temperatures finally going down.
Right, exactly.
Long overdue.
Bring it on.
All right, it's National Pasta Day, and we're celebrating the only way we know how to is by asking you at home, what's your favorite kind of pasta dish? So are you all about the spaghetti and meatballs? I know, Joel, you are.
Oh, yeah.
Classic mac and cheese. Can't forget about mac and cheese. It is a kind of pasta.
It
or maybe
is.
a little bit fancier with like a baked ravioli.
Oh, yeah. Or lasagna.
Lasagna's good,
very
too.
good. I like, have you ever had mac and cheese and like barbecued pork?
I have not.
It's not bad.
I've had them
pretty
separately,
good.
but never together.
Yeah, no, there was a restaurant I went to back in Michigan. They mixed it both together, and it was very delicious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know you can really make mac and cheese with any pasta, really. Just doesn't have to be the elbow ones.
Yeah.
There's also, you would consider this a soup, but it has pasta in it, but like a soup kind of pasta. So you know how you can like
chicken noodle soup? I mean,
yeah,
noodle.
Noodle is. You know how you can
Yeah,
deconstruct a burger? It's like a deconstructing the pasta, if you will, without the sauce.
Gotcha.
It's more of like a soup type of thing. I don't know what it's called, but can't think of it off the top of my head.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds delicious. We're all getting hungry this morning. Hopefully you guys can make some pasta this morning. It is Friday. Go out, grab some dinner, might as well. All right, we're about to step away for a quick moment and do our over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update. We're going to be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us for this news update. Well, gnats, bugs, and rats, not something you want to hear every morning or at all, honestly. Petty's Motor Hotel in Lufkin was shut down after city officials uncovered what they're calling gruesome health and safety violations. A tip led inspectors from multiple agencies to that property where they found severe infestations, including bed bugs, roaches, and even rodents in both occupied and empty bedrooms. The hotel also had plumbing failures, mold, holes in the walls, and sprinklers that weren't working. City manager Kevin G said the building was simply unsafe. The closure was ordered by the city's building inspector. Well, East Texas Haven, East Tyler that is, for medical education and disease prevention services is celebrating a big milestone. Net Health's Center for Healthy Living is celebrating its 12th year anniversary at its location off Frankston Highway. The highlight of the event was the launch of the new blood pressure kiosk at the American Heart Association and Molina Healthcare. The center provides free health, education, and screenings available to the community, and they say having this device will help them expand their outreach.
It's really important to have your blood pressure taken because high blood pressure is called a silent killer. Most people don't know that they have high blood pressure. It's the leading cause of heart disease and stroke. In addition to that, we do free diabetes education, free healthy living classes where we teach people how to live healthy, how to adopt healthy lifestyles. And we also have a program where we connect people to free mammograms and pap smears.
All good resources there. The Center for Healthy Living is free to the public. And it's open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, and open late on Tuesdays until 6 o'clock. And they have free Zumba classes, and on Thursday evenings, they have diabetes education classes. All right, don't forget you can catch our Under the Lights pre-show kickoff show tonight at 6:30, and at 10 p.m. we go all in for football for a whole hour with highlights, interviews from across East Texas. Of course, you can watch it right here on CBS 19 and on CBS 19 Plus. Shaping up to be a good day, Joel, for football.
That is right. And speaking of under the lights, let's take a look at that forecast for tonight. We were looking at temperatures starting out in the low 80s, upper 70s in some spots. We'll be down into the middle 70s by the end of the games, and we're also going to have some nice clear skies for this evening, so expect some beautiful sunsets out there. Severe weather is going to be a possibility between noon and 6 p.m. on Saturday. We have a slight risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, meaning a scattered risk is going to be a possibility for areas in yellow. That basically means 3 or 4 severe thunderstorm warnings are likely going to be issued. Again, between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. is what we're watching for. The main thing that we're going to be watching for as far as hazards is wind damage. And then definitely make sure to download that CBS19 app, and we'll have the latest updates for you as they come about. Now, after that cold front, which is going to be driving these thunderstorm chances, comes through, we have temperatures potentially down into the upper 70s by Sunday. Humidity going down big time. 53 degrees for the low on Monday, and then another cold front comes through by Tuesday and Wednesday.
Just after 8 o'clock, the government shutdown will now continue into next week. That's because senators are heading home this weekend after a 10th vote fell short again yesterday. Democrats insist any new deal to reopen the government must include an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, but Republicans say reopening the government should come first before they negotiate on health care. And the 92nd annual Texas Rose Festival kicked off yesterday with a ribbon-cutting ceremony filled with vibrant roses in full bloom. A stunning floral display honored Tyler's signature flower, making the event a true celebration of the city's blossoming heritage. That massive display, by the way, features more than 11,000 fresh roses that were all hand-placed, and you'll be able to check it out now through Sunday at the Tyler Rose Garden Center. Joel?
Sounds like fun, and the forecast should be pretty good as we move into today. We got high temperatures in the upper 80s, but it's tomorrow that we're going to have to really keep an eye on. We have that weather impact alert in place for all of Saturday. basically from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. is kind of the time frame that we're going to be watching for the development for strong to severe thunderstorms. The main threat that we're going to be watching for is wind damage, although we can't rule out maybe a couple of hailstones and maybe a spin up or two when it comes to some of these cells. But again, the number one threat that'll be taking up most of the area will be wind damage. So again, just make sure to have that CBS19 app downloaded. We'll keep you updated on the latest forecast details. And then this is all ahead of a cold front. And once that passes, we got temperatures in the upper 70s for Sunday. Humidity going down big time after that. 85 by Monday, 82 by Tuesday as another cold front comes through. We could have a couple chances for rain on Tuesday and Thursday.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. You guys have heard about firefighters rescuing cats. What about a remote control car? Yeah, quick and clever thinking helped save a kitten trapped in a storm drain in New York. Rescuers realized they couldn't get a person into the pipe to save the animal. So what do? Well, the Strong Island Animal Rescue League pulled out a remote controlled car to do the job, sending it down the drain to help guide the kitten right into a capable hands, that is, the other people on the other side of that pipe. The little baby cat right there, shaken of course, but is safe and is now in good care.
I gotta do what you gotta do.
Right? So
Wow.
I'm surprised that cat wasn't scared of the remote control car.
That looks like, it looks like a monster truck too. It looks like Gravedigger or
Right?
Monster Jam.
They
I
must
think
have
that's what it
pushed the
is.
cat onto the other side of the pipe. That way they can get it on out. But good for them. And
however it worked. I mean,
clever thinking.
Yeah, that is absolutely clever.
Whatever gets the job done.
Very
All
good.
right. Thanks so much for continuing your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Make sure to catch the noon show coming up later on today and keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. This is what's coming up here on CBS 19 Plus. Have a great rest of your morning, and we'll see you dark and early on Monday.